It's totally new, and it is here in Acadiana. Tired of waiting to get your weather forecast? You want Acadiana Skytrack. Skytrack is laser-focused on weather in Acadiana. When severe weather or other threatening conditions are going to impact Acadiana, you'll get live coverage. You can expect to see meteorologist Ed Roy when Skytrack goes live. Ed has a lot of experience with Acadiana weather. When the weather is great, Skytrack shows you images with weather information. 24/365, always keeping the focus on Acadiana.
Good afternoon, this is Ed Roy, and we do have the threat of severe weather in Acadiana as a very dynamic storm system moves in from the west and northwest. And, well, right now in Lafayette, until about another 15 minutes or so, we have a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect. Let's take a look quickly at the radar, and that tells the story of what we want to see. The radar is indicating a line of very heavy thunderstorms moving into and through the area right now. We're going to continue to watch this as it does move into the area. Heaviest thunderstorm activity is just west of Lafayette. I'm going to play with the radar here just a little bit. We're going to stop the motion, and notice right here is Lafayette, and right here is that line of thunderstorms just about to move into Crowley. Currently moving into the Opelousas area. And also we do have this severe thunderstorm a tornado watch in effect until 7 o'clock this evening, and a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lafayette Parish, possibly winds of 60 miles an hour or so. Excuse me, and gusty conditions, of course, and radar indicated the possibility of some hail as well in this system. So expect some damage to roofs, siding, and trees, and the locations that are being impacted, here they are on the screen: St. Landry, Chaitanya, Bayou Chico, Bayou Current, and Opelousas, of course, Lafayette. Those areas are all in this severe thunderstorm warning as well. The thunderstorm tornado watch in effect until 7 o'clock this evening. For us here in south central and southwestern Louisiana. So this is what we're watching, that line of thunderstorms as it moves into and through the area. And I think that's going to be a bit of a bugaboo this afternoon. So we're going to watch it very carefully as it continues to move into and through the area. If you have any comments, please go ahead and chat them out on the chat screen. I think we're live here on Facebook as well. On YouTube as well. I'm going to try to get over to YouTube and see if we have anybody that's there commenting, and if we do, I'll try to answer those questions. But the heaviest thunderstorms now are to the west of Lafayette and continuing to move toward the east. The individual thunderstorms are moving toward the northeast at about 60 miles an hour. And the line of thunderstorms is moving toward the east at about 20 miles an hour. So it's going to be just a little bit before that line of thunderstorm actually moves into and through the area. Let's see if we can check in on the Facebook, on the YouTube side, and see if we have anybody watching that has maybe any questions there. Let me check this very quickly. All right, SkyTrack. Okay, here we are, and we in fact are broadcasting live. I don't see any questions or comments, and that's fine. If you have any questions or comments, or would like to chat about what's going on weather-wise, go to Facebook, and actually the best place to go would be to YouTube, and type your comments there, and I'll see them as we head through the afternoon. I don't see any questions or comments. There we go. So here we are in the afternoon hours, and it looks as though we're going to continue to have a problem with this line of thunderstorms as it moves into and through the area. I'm going to play with the radar again just a little bit more to see where the heaviest showers and thunderstorms are located. Let me kill this data right here. Also, we're seeing a number of folks that are out of power over in Acadia Parish. And as that line moves through the area, let's see here. Here's the motion on those thunderstorms on that line. Now, once this line moves through, we're going to be in pretty good shape, but there will be some gusty surface winds back behind the system. There were some wind reports in New Mexico of 81-mile-an-hour winds. Now, I'm not expecting that here, but boy, this system is really wrapped up to give you an idea of how strong it is. And also, we have more moisture streaming in from the Gulf of Mexico here in southeast Louisiana. The dew points are increasing here, and I think we're going to see a big threat of tornadic activity around the Morgan City, Donaldsonville, Gonzales area on up toward Baton Rouge as the afternoon progresses. So we'll stop this and look inside the thunderstorms. Let's look at the reflectivity. And I'm seeing some strong winds, but I'm not seeing any rotating type winds here. Yeah, I'm seeing some winds of maybe as high as 60 miles an hour right here, just north of Breaux Bridge. 57 miles an hour. Now again, realize that these are values that are about 6,000 feet above the surface. Here's some 64 mile an hour winds just to the west of Cankton. So get ready. Here's the line. The line of thunderstorms is moving through the area. And we're seeing, let's see. I'm not seeing too much rotation. Just south of Church Point, it looks as though there may be some rotation in this particular thunderstorm, but I don't think that that's a dangerous level of rotation. But there is some, and so we're starting to see a little what we call mesoscale oscillation, but not a supercell. Just a very little bit of rotation in that cell as we look at it. There have been some reports of property damage over in the western and southwestern part of the state, mostly trees near Anacoco. There was a report of a tree across a railroad track, but again, we're going to watch this thing and make sure that it doesn't do too much harm, hopefully, as it moves into the area. So this is Acadiana SkyTrack. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lafayette Parish for another few minutes at least, and I think this will probably be extended as we progress. Let's look at the warning itself. Hang on just a second. I'll try to zoom in on that. So severe thunderstorm warning effect expires in 5 minutes at 2:15 this afternoon. But as I said, with this line of thunderstorms not showing any decrease in strength, I believe that the National Weather Service folks are going to extend this warning over to the east just a little bit. So look out if you're in the Orneville, Lafayette, Carencro area, Breaux Bridge. We're going to see this moving on toward the east. I'll let this run and we can watch it together. But the heaviest shower activity, I'll stop the playback here just a second. The heaviest activity, as far as rain is concerned, is just north of Crowley. And we're getting some very impressive rainfall rates there, probably about 3 to 4 inches per hour. And just in the Esterwood area, probably about 4 inches per hour. So this is the heaviest rainfall right now in the area. A lot of lightning as well over in the Crowley area, Roberts Cove. I'd like to get some gust reports out there if we had that available. That would be good. Let me go over to Facebook and see if anybody's commenting there. I got one report from Courtney that wind gusts there in Arneville area to 47 miles an hour as that frontal system approaches the area. Hang on just 1 second. Let me take this phone call, and I will be right back. Okay, that's phone call done. Jelly was trying to make it back in her car, so she's coming back at this as we speak. But let me go back and take a look at what comments we have. John, it's good to have you with us this afternoon. Thank you. Courtney, thank you so much. Judy, thank you for being here this afternoon. And we'll continue to broadcast live as this threat of thunderstorms continues in the area. If you have any questions or any comments that you'd like to make, or if you have any observations that you would like to pass along, we certainly like that. And we will send those along to the National Weather Service in Lake Charles. We have a direct link to them through the computer, and we'll watch that and keep you posted as to what's going on. And keep the National Weather Service posted. What we do here is very important to the folks in Lake Charles because they cannot see down low here in Lafayette area with the radar. So any observations that we pass along to them is a real plus and a real bonus for the folks there in the Lake Charles area. Weather Service posted. Okay, so let's see here. Severe thunderstorm, Courtney, you're right. Severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah, Todd, you ought to be okay once this line moves through. But watch out for the gusty winds behind this thing. It's going to be impressive. There's some pretty good wind gusts back up in the Dallas area. And I don't know if you were here when I mentioned it, but there were some wind gusts in around Clayton, New Mexico. Up around the Texas Panhandle in Clayton, New Mexico, 81 miles an hour this afternoon. Now I'm not expecting that here, but I do believe that we're going to see that kind of gusty condition continuing. So there's a new thunderstorm warning in effect, and it's exactly what we talked about just a moment ago. Here is the thunderstorm warning. If I can get it up here, there we go. It will expire in 45 minutes, but this National Weather Service says severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lafayette Parish, for central Acadia, for northwestern Vermilion, Avoyles, south central Avoyles, northwestern St. Martin, St. Landry Parish until 3 o'clock this afternoon. It's another 45 minutes. It's that line of thunderstorms that's moving through, and that's the one we're monitoring. It could produce some wind gusts of 60 miles an hour or so. Back behind it, we have some folks out of power. Allen Parish has 842 people out of power right now. And There's some power outages reported in the Acadia Parish area as well, so we'll watch that. But that line is just about to move in. It's in the Church Point area now. We'll look at the individual thunderstorms as they move through. The heaviest rain looks as though right now, and we can take a look at that with the differential phase. Let's see if I can go to that. Okay, differential phase shows us where the rainfall is the heaviest. And right now, the heaviest rain is just to the south of Crowley, stretching on up toward the Roberts Cove area, and right here in the Church Point area, just north of Rayne and just south of Church Point. We're having rainfall rates there probably of about 4 inches per hour, and same thing here south of the Crowley area. So these are heavy thunderstorms, and you can see the lightning bolts that are popping up with that thing, so expect some lightning as this line moves through it. Severe thunderstorm warning indicates that we could have some wind gusts at least to 55 miles an hour as that line moves into and through the area. We'll look at the velocities to see if there's anything rotating in there, and right now I don't really think I see anything of any consequence. There's little pockets of rotation, but you'd expect that with these cells in this line as they move on toward the northeast. So I am going to monitor this with you if you'd like to stick around. Would love to have you. We have more and more folks that are getting on board here this afternoon. I'm going to go back to the reflectivity mode so we can see a traditional radar type presentation. And I'm going to zero in just now. This line is moving into the Sunset Opelousas area. We'll get a report from Courtney. He lives up in the Arnaville area when this thing moves in to the into the zone up there. So we'll watch that. But let this run, and we can take a look at this together. A rough old afternoon here in South Louisiana. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect. You're watching Acadiana Skytrack. And we try to give you the briefing on where the weather's the roughest when it does move in, like right now. And keep you posted without a lot of the hysteria that goes with some of the broadcasting that goes on now. You know, it's amazing. I guess there's a need to sensationalize things sometimes, but what I try to do is just give you the essentials of what's going on and what it means and what it'll do for us or to us as the lines move through. And if it's not time to jump in the ditch, but I'll tell you if and when it gets to that point. We'll watch that very carefully. So the folks that are here, Anita, Courtney, Todd, thank you for being with us on board this afternoon. I see Lorena's up in Ohio, and she's here with us today. Gene Snyder was one of the best forecasters you'll ever have the chance to work with. He was with me for 20 some odd years. And Gene, hello to you if you're still up in that area. And Lorena, good afternoon to you. Teresa, hey, good afternoon. Glad you're here. If anybody has any questions, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to type them in. Or better, if you have an observation of what's going on weather-wise, well, naturally I would like to see that. And we can pass those observations along to, hey Bert, good afternoon from Jeanerette. Anything of consequence, we'll pass it along to the National Weather Service folks over in Lake Charles. Let's see what they're saying right now. I'm not seeing any new damage reports. There were some reports up in central Louisiana of damage. Mostly, it looks like trees and power lines and things like that. But we will definitely watch that. Glad to have you this afternoon riding along with us. If you are on Facebook or if you are on YouTube. We're also broadcasting live on YouTube this afternoon, and we'll continue to do so as this severe weather threat materializes here in South Louisiana. Paula, good afternoon. You're quite welcome. Thank you. It's glad to be here and glad to be of some service. I was telling somebody, I never really thought I'd be back in the weather business, but I guess I'm like an old Dalmatian at the firehouse. It's hard to resist the fire bell when it rings. I tend to want to jump on the fire truck and and see what's going on weather-wise. And I figured, well, if I'm doing that for myself, I just soon share it with you, if you have an interest in that. Hey, John. Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Spread the word. We the more the merrier here. We have a lot of folks watching right now, so that's a good thing. And if you haven't joined Acadiana Skytrack on Facebook, please do so. If you haven't subscribed on YouTube, please do so. That helps us to tell you when we're going live. And it's kind of an alert system, if you will, I guess. I think Mike's here. Mike over in Florida. Mike, good afternoon. Welcome to you, getting your sermon ready for tomorrow. Mike is an Episcopal priest over there near Bradenton, or in Bradenton. And Gisette, hey, good afternoon. Gisette, hadn't seen you in a long while. Mitchell, Judith, Dwayne, Jody, hey, Jody, good afternoon. John's been here a while. Karen, Paula, good to have you all here with us this afternoon. And like I said, we'll continue to do this and check the radar as we progress through the afternoon. Let's go back to the radar now. If you hear some clicking, I'm chewing on a cough drop. Hopefully that's not too distracting. So here's Lafayette, here's Youngsville, here's the line of thunderstorms stretching from Guédon through Rain up through Sunset,
It's totally new,
Opelousas,
and it is here in Acadiana.
According to
Tired
that
of
line, it's
waiting
gonna
to
be
get your
coming
weather
through here in just a
forecast?
bit. I'd
You
sure
want
like a report,
Acadiana Skytrack.
when it does.
Skytrack is laser focused on weather in
We'll pass that along
Acadiana.
to the National Weather Service.
When severe weather or other threatening conditions
Like
are going to
Charles.
impact Acadiana, you'll get live coverage.
Especially interested in any
You can
reports
expect
of
to see
very
meteorologist
strong wind
Ed Roy
gusts
when
or hail or
Skytrack goes
property
live.
damage.
Ed has a
or
lot of
excessive,
experience with
flooding
Acadiana
or,
weather.
Very intense lightning.
When the weather is great, Skytrack shows you images with weather
Those are things
information.
that indicate the severity of a
24 by
thunderstorm and can
365,
lead to a
always keeping the
thunderstorm
focus on
warning that's in
Acadiana.
effect. Here's this
Go to
thunderstorm
YouTube,
cone.
find channel Acadiana
if you will.
Skytrack, then click subscribe.
So this line, as it moves in, I'll stop the motion for just a moment. And we look at the velocities. I'm going to check to see if we don't see any rotation. And I don't really. Looks like maybe near Port Barry there may be a little something trying to start, but it looks minor. I don't see anything that's glaring. But this whole area right now has the potential for some very heavy winds, up to 60, maybe 70 mile an hour wind gusts as this moves through. Dew points are crazy high. Anytime you get a dew point temperature above 60 degrees, that tells me that there's a lot of moisture. And boy, look at this. We have in Opelousas a dew point of 68 degrees dew point in Lafayette. With a temperature of 70 and
It's
72
totally new, and it is
respectively.
here in
And that tells
Acadiana.
me that we have a lot
Tired of waiting to get
a
your
lot
weather
of moisture in
forecast?
the atmosphere.
You
More
want
moisture is
Acadiana
streaming
Skytrack.
in to the southeastern part
Skytrack
of the
is
state.
laser focused on weather
So
in
that's going
Acadiana.
to be a
When
problem,
severe weather or other threatening
as this,
conditions are going to impact
mess
Acadiana,
moves on
you'll get
toward
live
the
coverage.
east.
You can
Looks like the
expect to see
thunderstorms are
meteorologist
increasing a
Ed
little
Roy
bit
when
in,
Skytrack goes
rainfall
live.
rates.
Ed has a lot of
Just south of
experience with
Crowley, you're getting
Acadiana weather.
a dose of rain.
When the weather is
And
great,
just, from
Skytrack shows you
Sunset
images
area
with weather
down
information.
toward
24 by
Kington,
365,
Tucson.
always
I wish we
keeping the
had some
focus on
reports up in this
Acadiana.
area. If you're in that area,
Go to
please
YouTube,
tell me what
find
your
channel
weather looks like
Acadiana
right
Skytrack,
now. We'll
then
go back
click
to the
subscribe.
reflectivity, and I'll put this back in motion, and let me monitor again to see if we have any comments. Hey Matt, good afternoon, welcome aboard. Trying to see if there's anything of consequence here that we need to talk about right now, and I don't think there is. I'm going to go back to the radar, and now we're going to stop this automatic switching because I want to stay on the radar when we're on the radar. Here's the satellite. You can see there's some rapid clearing behind the system that's over just in the eastern part of Texas. But notice there's another swath of clouds that are coming down from the north around the Dallas area. That's the backside circulation around that very intense upper level low pressure system. So Todd, if you are going to fly this afternoon, I would watch that very carefully up in the Dallas metro area. It's going to be rock and roll up there wind wise. Okay, let's see here. Kington, you should be getting some pretty good rains about right now. Karen Crow just about to start there. In central Lafayette, you'll be hearing thunder shortly. The good news is once this line moves through, it's going to be pretty much over with, I think, and the threat of severe weather is going to diminish rapidly. Dwayne, you're absolutely right. This kind of does remind. It's reminiscent of a tropical storm approaching with the gusty winds, but fortunately, there's nothing tropical in the mix right now. This is just a winter type storm, and it's a well-developed winter storm. It's really wrapped up, so that's why with the tight pressure gradient, we're seeing those geostrophic winds or the surface winds are so strong outside of even the thunderstorm areas. It's because of the pressure packing. As you know, the atmosphere always tries to fill in the low pressure systems with highs, and this air is flowing very rapidly from one to another, and that's what's going on. Courtney says he's hearing multiple audio streams. I don't know why. Oh, I do know why. I think I was doing the automatic switching, so I've hopefully stopped that. But Dwayne, it's good to have you with us. Joe, hey, Joe, good afternoon. Well, good to have you with us here this afternoon. We'll continue to ride this pony until it moves on through. And like I said, in the central part of Lafayette, we're about to get a pretty good dose of wind and rain. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lafayette Parish, so don't be surprised at some very strong gusty winds as well as possibly some small hail. If you report any hail or observe any hail or any property damage of anything of consequence, please let me know and we'll pass it right along to National Weather Service. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and crank up Acadiana Skywarn here, if you guys don't mind. Let me put out a call. This is WA5 Tango November Kilo, Acadiana Skywarn, activated now at 14:30 hours on Mardi Gras, 3/4/2025. Skywarn is active. Any stations with or without reports, please come now. This is Whiskey Alpha 5 Tango November Kilo on the Skywarn repeater. So, we'll talk to the ham radio operators if they're around. By the way, let me tell you about GMRS. We have commercials running here for GMRS, and we're really pushing it, which is a general mobile radio service for the folks who are not really interested in becoming ham radio operators, but would like to be able to communicate in their community. This is the perfect way to do it. The license, I think, is so easy to get. You just fill in a deal and send them $10 or $30. I don't know what it is, but it's for 10 years. and it's one license for everybody in your family.
Kilo Mike 5, Oscar Romeo, KM5 OR. The name Barry. Checking in.
KM5OR, good afternoon, Barry. This is Ed, WA5 Tango November Kilo. Any reports, and what is your location?
I am 5 miles east of Bro Bridge in Sparks.
Okay, sounds good. Well, the weather is still west of you, but it will be heading in your direction probably in about an hour and a half or so, so batten down the hatches. We're live on YouTube and on Facebook if you'd like to join us for a look at the radar. Okay, so we're getting some more comments here. And Bobby, hey Bobby, good afternoon. Bobby and Monique, welcome aboard. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Happy to do this. It's something I, of course, have a passion for. So it's good when you can share it and hopefully make sense of it for other folks. And I was saying earlier that there's a lot of hysteria that goes on these days with weather reporting, and hopefully we try to take that out of this. I mean, weather is what it is, and we don't have to sensationalize it. It's pretty sensational sometimes by itself. So I'm going to zoom in on Lafayette. We do have this line of thunderstorms squarely over Dusson. It's now just past rain. Moving into Carencro, expect gusty surface winds. With this system, a severe thunderstorm warning is in effect for another 15 minutes or so, and it probably will continue as this line moves through. Courtney, I'd be very interested in your observations because there's some heavy stuff in that area. Let me go back to the reflectivity, or from the reflectivity into the velocities, and like I'm seeing just a little bit of a rotation, but it's just a little bit east of you, and so I don't think you have anything dangerous right there, but I think you're going to be seeing some very heavy rain. I'd be interested, if you don't mind, check your station and tell me how much rain you've had. And by the way, I am very happy to tell you about the weather flow instruments, and we even get a discount if you want to order a weather flow weather station. They're not cheap, but boy, I'll tell you what, it's the best I've seen. And that's what Courtney's using. That's what I'm using. I have a bunch of friends around here that are using this, and it's Weather Flow. They have a pretty good network all around the world, really. And Cork, are you getting any rain right now? You should be getting some rain, and it should be increasing. And I'm mostly interested in your wind gusts. Clark is my go-to guy up in the Arnaville area. Welcome to everybody that's here. We'll continue to broadcast as long as there is a threat of severe. I'm going to put the radar back in motion so that you can see what's going on as this line moves on eastward. The individual thunderstorms are moving up to the northeast at about 50 to 60 miles an hour. But the entire line is moving toward the east at about 20 miles an hour. So this is going to take some time to work its way through, but I think it's going to be just fine once it goes through. There were some reports of property damage up around Fort Polk of some tornadic activity with that, but looks like that's all said and done now. There will be some gusty winds behind this thing, though. And I'm anticipating some very heavy to severe weather down in southeast Louisiana, the possibility of tornadoes, probably greater than here, even because of the increased moisture ahead of this line that's building up around Donaldsonville and Morgan City and Houma, this area. The humidities are very high. And continue to increase. Let's look. I think this is a guy that goes on the road and does live weather reports. And where is he now? He is somewhere up in here. He's just north of, well, he's in Clinton. In Clinton, Louisiana. Oh, let's look at this. This might be something you'd find interesting. This is the camera, the weather camera that's over in Broussard. And I can, thanks to our friends there at the Cajun Broadband, we can control this camera and take a look. I'm going to point it just a little bit further toward the west. Hang on just a second. Let's see here.